I start being a percussionist, actually. I was already a percussionist before I knew, because you know, I was very small. I don't remember this. My mother told me, and I was not even walking yet. You know, I was crawling around the house, but there was something wrong with me that from time to time I would just sit, you know, on the floor and start going and my mom, she was watching me real close, and she was very worried about me. And that was a small, you know, we used to live in this very small town in South Brazil. And so she sent a letter. There was no calling at that time, especially from a small town, you know, in South Brazil. So she wrote a letter to my grandmother, to her mother. And she said, you know, we're very worried about Airto because, you know, he's having seizures, and we don't know what it is, and, you know, we don't have money to take him to a doctor or whatever, and so if it would be okay with you, I would like to take Airto, you know, there to see you, and to, you know, so you, both of us, we can, you know, decide, or we can figure out what is happening with him. And because I don't know if this is, you know, this is going to go forever, you know. Like I don't want him to grow up and do, so I don't know what to do. And she was, you know, so my grandmother, she sent a letter, another letter back to my mom, and she said, well, there is some money in the envelope. At the time, you know, at that time we could do that, put money in an envelope. And you buy a ticket for yourself, and you know, and then you can, you know, he can sit in your lap, and you come here. So you know, I'll help you with that. I don't know what to do, but, you know. So we went there, and for the first, I don't know, like 2 days or something, I was totally cool. I was crawling around the house or whatever, and then all of a sudden one day I start going, and my mom, she ran and she said, "Mom, come, he's doing it again. He started." And so my grandmother, she looked at me, and then she turned off the radio. The radio was on, and I stopped. And she said, "Oh my God, he's going to be a musician. Oh my God." Because at that time, musicians, you know, was not like today. You know, a musician was also, to be a musician, you had to be a drunk, and you know, a bunch of other stuff, you know. So, and a musician couldn't even get credits at that time, in, you know, to buy anything. So I think it was not really considered profession, unless if you played, let's say, if you played classical music, then you were a musician. And so they realized, you know, before I did, that that I was a musician. But I didn't, you know, I don't remember this, but, you know. And from that time on, as I grew up, I started, you know, I started walking and everything, and so I used to go out in the streets, and I mean, streets. It's a little small town, and pick up things and make instruments, you know, to actually for whistling, and also to imitate, you know, birds and all different kinds of birds. And then I made a shaker, and then another thing that I would beat on it, and so little by little I started having some percussion. And my grandmother gave me a tambourine, and that was my treasure for about 4 years. There was a plastic tambourine, a little one, with those coconut trees on them, you know, painted. Yeah. And I remember that it was a kind of a pink, you know, tambourine. And I love it. And I used to sit, you know, with that tambourine, and, you know, and try to play, and, you know, try different ways and everything. And so I learned to play that. And then they gave me, you know, my grandma, she gave me a better one, that you could tune it, you know. And so I was very, very happy. And, you know, I started inventing rhythms, not inventing, but the only musical source at that time for me was the radio. And sometimes we used to live in houses that they were not, that we didn't have electricity, you know. So then the radio was hooked up on some batteries, a car battery actually, I remember. But I was playing everything that I would hear on the radio. Well, I was trying to play all that. And then, you know, things, they start growing, you know, my collection. I mean, growing, that I mean, like maybe I had 6, 7, 8 things, you know. And that's the way that I found out that I was a musician. That's why when people, they ask me, well, how come have you decided, you know, to be a musician? And I said, no, I didn't decide to be a musician. I never thought I am a musician, I'll be a musician. Because, you know, today, and also, you know, especially in the States or in Brazil, anywhere but big cities, they have lots of school for music and everything. So now you can study the right technique and everything. So, but at that time, I didn't pick up music, you know. Music picked me up, you know.